I was scouring historical websites looking for an appropriately Christmassy themed food item when on goodcookery.com I came across this 1654 recipe for orange pudding, essentially an egg custard tart flavoured with orange rind. Custard tarts are very, very old. They originate with Anglo-Norman cuisine from after the conquest. In fact, the word custard is formed from an Anglo-Saxon and a Norman word smashed together. And custard tarts were fairly high-status desserts. You see them mentioned on lists for coronation treats, anything like that. Now, sweet oranges are a little bit more tricky. They are a creation entirely of human endeavour, being created from crossbreeding mandarin oranges and pomelos in 3rd century BCE China. They came to Europe through Moorish Spain, but they didn't particularly become common until the 16th and 17th centuries with the advent of orangeries. So it is pushing it a bit to say that this orange pudding might have been served at a Tudor feast, but it does give an idea of what kind of sweet treat might take pride of place at a Twelfth Night celebration. So, using the Cook's Guide or Rare Receipts for Cookery 1654 to make the orange pudding, you'll first need the rind of a small orange, 4 ounces of fresh butter, 4 ounces of fine sugar, 6 egg yolks to make it lovely and yellow, a spoonful or 2 of cream just to sort of make it nice and creamy, and they do specify a little bit of salt, but we're using salted butter, so probably won't have to use it. The recipe specifies that you must pare the rind very thin and boiled in several waters, and then beat it till it be very fine. Now, I thought that was just some sort of whimsy on the part of the recipe writer, being that oranges 500 years ago were probably a little bit more tougher than they are now, and then I tried cooking orange rind. It took a long time to get tender. Boil in several waters because you are going to be boiling quite a few pots of water until it all completely evaporates, and then it still won't be ready to pound. Once you've beaten your orange rind into a tender pulp, just take all the ingredients and beat these all together into a mortar while the oven heats. So I tried using my electric whisk and the conveniences of modern technology, and then I found that actually just mixing it up with a classic wooden spoon in a bowl was much more effective at making the mixture. Who would have thought it? Once at an appropriate consistency, I've spooned my mixture into a pre-made puff pastry case. That's the great thing about doing historical cookery. They've got no time for any short crust pastry. All they want is puff pastry, and I am more than happy to oblige. It shrunk a little bit in cooking, but it's still good. It's still good. The one problem with this recipe is that, of course, given that it is in a time before electric ovens and gas hobs, there are no precise baking temperatures or times. It just says put it in the oven and bake it. So I improvised a little bit and I used Tamal Ray's orange custard tart recipe to get an idea of baking time and temperatures. So I preheated the oven to 160 degrees Celsius and popped it on in there for 25 minutes. And this is the result. And it doesn't look bad, considering my previous historical food attempts. It's got a lovely golden colour, nice crust, a little bit of orange for decoration. So all that's left is to give it a bit of a taste test. Yeah, so it's definitely kind of not like a normal custard, more like a baked custard. And I guess proto-custard before custard powder was invented.
I guess so. Oh.
The base might be a bit thick.
We can't smell any orange, but let's see.
Oh no! That's not a good face.
No, it's good. But so at first I tasted orange, then the egg came in, and then the pastry came in, and then it went back to orange. So I was like, oh, that's nice. Oh, that's a lot of egg. That's nice. That's nice. And I don't know why I went on that journey.
Oh, but it tastes like orange custard.
I would say it's a success.
Yes!
It's a bit tough to get into. I'm going to try it again. Come in.
I made the pastry too thick. Me and pastry don't get on.
Same thing again. Like, it's nice. It's just, it takes me on a journey. I didn't buy a ticket to this train, but I'm on it. I'm going to finish it.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes! So, will you say that orange pudding from 1654 is a success?
When you can get into it, yes.
Yay! What is that? That's the third recipe I've made that's worked out?
I don't know if you can count the posset, because that was good at the time, and then when I had some the day after, it really hurt my stomach.
The orange pudding of 1654 from the Cook's Guide? Is it a historical yes or a nay?
It'll do.